Hi, I'm Claudia Cornett, here at the Beaufort Library with our third speaker in the Book Sandwiched In series, which is in its 31st annual year this year, and is sponsored by the Friends of the Library. Our speaker on the 28th of January is Mark Mykleby, and Mark is a retired U.S. Marine Corps colonel who's had a remarkable 28-year military career. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy, he executed numerous military deployments and served in various positions from fighter pilot to a strategist to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. After retirement, he joined the New America Foundation and co-founded Case Western Reserve Strategic Innovation Lab, where he continued working on what became his book. It's the focus book for our third book sandwiched in, The Grand Strategy, Restoring America's Prosperity, Security, and Sustainability in the 21st Century. So, Mark, you are a co-author of this book, and my question to you is, what motivated you and your co-authors to write the new grand strategy?
Well, I guess it came out of my experience working for Admiral Mullen. I got pulled out of Special Operations Command in 2009. It was supposed to be a 2-month project working with a Navy captain named Wayne Porter directly for Admiral Mullen. And Admiral Mullen at that time, Admiral Mullen was the chairman for both President Bush and for President Obama. He was concerned about the direction America was going. Whether it was our economic condition, whether it was our fiscal condition, whether it was our social and political condition. And he charged me and Captain Porter with creating a new grand strategy for the nation.
Now, can I interrupt you and ask you, new grand strategy? So there was a previous grand strategy.
Yeah, the old grand strategy came out of George Kennan right after World War II, which was the strategy of containment to address the Cold War in the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union collapsed, however, the United States, we never recalibrated and looked at what was the big plan going forward from there. Mm-hmm. So really, since the fall of the Soviet Union, we've been trying to keep an old system, whether it's an economic system, political system, alive and well. And it's just not working for us with the new challenges that we face. So Admiral Mullen asked us to create a new grand strategy.
So you have some pretty heavy words in the subtitle, Restoring America's Prosperity, Security, and Sustainability. Can you talk a little bit about those as themes in the book?
Sure. So in themes of the book came out of the work we did for Admiral Mullen, where we ended up writing a paper called the National Strategic Narrative that posited that sustainability needs to become our new national strategic.
What do you mean by that, sustainability?
Sustainability, across the board, it goes beyond environmental sustainability, but it's also sustainability as an organizing logic coming out of ecological science, where the scientific definition is an organism's ability to remain diverse and productive over time. So when we looked at it, it's the logic of that concept seemed to apply to where we had to go as a nation, because right now, again, looking at that definition, prosperity and security are our two enduring national interests.
Right.
And we need to be able to be secure. That goes beyond just defense. It means that our food systems, our water systems need to be stable and secure. But we also have to be able to be prosperous. But that goes beyond just growth. Mm-hmm. We have to stop thinking in terms of GDP and quantitative growth, start talking about qualitative growth. Because I would charge or posit that in our nation right now we've got plenty of stuff, but I don't think we're any more happy as a nation. And I think there's a different place we can get to, and that logic of sustainability of those two intertwining things of prosperity and security. There's a different way of getting to those to address those national interests.
So, are you talking about things like climate change and immigration and
about
hot button?
I would talk about it definitely in nonpartisan terms. First of all, I want to make that just based on the facts. But yes, talking about things like climate change. We're also talking about our economy in our ability to have a sustainable economy over time. Right now we're just going from quarter to quarter, looking at our GDP growth, where we should be looking at the long term, 25 years out. Are we really going to have a sustainable economy if we continue to depend on fossil fuels, we can't. If we continue to deplete our soils, we can't. We deplete our waterways, we just can't keep doing that. And we need to start creating an education framework that positions our children and our grandchildren in a place where they can compete on a global scene. And we're not really doing that right now.
Do you have a passage or a quote or two from the book to give the
Well, yeah, I
give us a
just
sense of it?
to the point of why we wrote the book and what we're trying to, what we try to do in this book. And I just read this quick paragraph is, this is no idealistic pipe dream or wonky policy prescription. The story that unfolds weaves together hard-nosed economic analysis, a clear-eyed study of demographic and societal shifts, the implications of climate change and resource scarcity, risk assessment of America's challenges and opportunities, and on-the-ground reporting of solutions that are already being implemented across the nation. And at the end of the day, what our message is that we as Americans don't have to wait on Washington, that we have the capacity as citizens in a democracy, and we have market forces to take a capitalistic approach to figuring out the way forward, what Thomas Paine would have called the cause of, what the cause of America ought to be in the 21st century.
That's pretty lofty. Sounds wonderful. Hope that our audience's interest has been piqued. Mine has been. And if you're a book lover and you want to hear more of Colonel Mykleby's talk about the grand strategy, you can come on Monday, January 28th. He will do a 45-minute talk at USB's Center for the Arts at 805 Carteret Street. All book talks begin at noon, but come at 11:30 and have coffee and cookies and conversation. The full book sandwich and schedule is available at all of our libraries in a rack card, and so you can see all the ones ahead as well as ones past in this year's lineup, 2019 lineup. You can also get more information by going to the website on the screen or emailing Friends of the Library at the email address you're seeing now. Hope to see you soon.